Got
This
it.
meeting is now streaming live on.
We are now streaming live. Woohoo! Happy Magic Monday.
Happy Magic Monday.
So excited to be back. It's been 2 full weeks, a little bit more. Whew. I'm excited.
It's been a
Oh,
long time I've had to do all this. Are we not live anymore? No, it still says live.
yeah. I've got to close Facebook so we don't echo.
Oh, yeah, so we don't
Are we
mock
still
ourselves.
live? Huh?
It's that. Yeah, we're live. I see us in here.
Okay, good. Good, good.
I'm waving at
Tori,
myself.
Tori said, "You're live. Yay. Thank you, Tori." It takes a village for us.
Yeah, I just saw myself wave.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I'm super glad to be back and have so much to share. Admittedly, I'm a little tired, still recalibrating and regaining my energy after 5 days of journeying.
Journeying with ayahuasca.
Yes.
Remind everyone what you were doing. What were you?
I Yeah, yeah. Traveled to the jungles of the Colombian rainforest, which was absolutely gorgeous. And went to a retreat center that is run by a woman, Danya Marta. We call her Mama. She's 72 years old. And her two daughters are medicine women. And Danya Marta has been trained with ayahuasca since she was 7 years old. And in their culture, they actually give ayahuasca, little bits of ayahuasca, to their babies so that they have the wisdom of the medicine within them.
Wow, that's really interesting. I was gonna say, could you imagine like Salem getting introduced on how to be a medicine woman working with ayahuasca? That's
Yeah, her age.
Well, I know you were there for so long. How I felt. Um, I know that there's so much to talk about. So on this Magic Monday, we're gonna kind of get to the point here of like some of the best, most magical pieces because it is Magic Monday after all, and then let you know how you can hear even more about it because it's fascinating. I still keep getting questions and having questions and asking questions. But what was your favorite part? I don't know if part is the right word I want to say, but maybe like favorite message or favorite part or experience of it.
Uh, there was, there was so much healing for one. People say that ayahuasca provides 20 years of self development in, a journey or an experience, maybe not in one journey. And one of my favorite parts was so much healing that I did. And favorite message was definitely Mother Mary coming to me. And I've been drawn to Mother Mary for a long time, and I purchased a beautiful statue of Mother Mary up in Sedona about 17 years ago, before we actually moved to Arizona, Megan. And
Really?
yeah, yeah. And she sat on my altar. And I took a few things. I took a crystal, I took my pendulum, and I took that Mother Mary statue. And I donated it to the Maloka, which is the space in which we did the ceremonies. But Mother Mary came to me in in the ayahuasca journey, and over in Colombia, it's Spanish speaking. They're very Catholic, and so they have a lot of Mother Mary statues around, and they're very Catholic. Many of them have her whole colorful aura all around her. And that's not my favorite depiction of Mother Mary, but during the journey, she came to me with that aura all around her. And then I was like, interesting, right? And she started laughing. She goes, and she stepped out of that aura and said, I don't need all that.
You're like, well, thank God.
Yeah, I thought that was so funny and it just so humanizing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I want to say, tell us all about Mother Mary. But before we get to that piece, what is you're talking about like the 20 years of personal development crammed into that 5 to 7 days. And like with you having come back and that sort of thing, and still recovering kind of in like the low energy, it has me thinking about, when you go and you do like some deep inner work, like deep excavation, like I think of some of the programs that I've done where you spend maybe a day doing deep excavation and you are still just in your humanness, right? You don't have that sort of like ego that is stripped and that sort of thing. You still feel like after a moment like that, you still feel drained and want. So I guess it's no surprise that after that kind of heavy lifting, 20 years worth in a week, but I remember you talking about the level of compassion that you felt. So will you talk a little bit about that?
Sure,
My
sure.
over question.
Yeah, thank you. There was definitely, it was journey number two where I went into truly healing some deep, deep trauma. And I don't even know what the trauma was. You don't need to know, I just had this purging of tears and sadness and screaming. And the medicine women, Carolina and Danya Marta, really encourage you to like express, let it all out, express. And yeah, when after that day, yeah, I was definitely exhausted, but I felt I could eat after the first day. I had purged and I couldn't eat much. I felt like I was going to keep purging. But after that second day of that deep, deep healing, I just felt so much love and compassion for everyone in my life. It was so expanded. It was so expanded for everyone.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you asked me that because we don't realize how much our own pain inhibits our ability to love and have compassion because nothing changed except the purging of that pain. And that is so profound. I'm so glad you asked me because I wasn't even aware of just how profound that was. That when we're carrying stuff around and we think we're being loving and our intention is to be loving, and and we are really really attempting to be loving, there's so much love that we can give that we just don't have access to because of the pain.
Wow. Wow. That's suddenly making sense to me. Like I have chills thinking about it. I'm seeing this picture of like all of this loving compassion with piles of pain. And so it's like pushed down and down. Oh, it's perfect. It's
Yeah.
perfect depiction, right? And now what you have right here is just like your humanness, right? Like what I refer to as the humanness, which is your stories, your opinions, your ideas of how things should be. And what's underneath all of that, or what's underneath the stories, ideas, and opinions is the pain. And what's underneath the pain is our ability and capacity to love and be compassionate.
And I would call our ability and capacity to love and be compassionate our divinity.
Who we truly are. Like that's the core, and everything else has kind of just been piled
Yeah.
on top of it. Right. And I think that to me makes a lot of sense of how sometimes we can be there. Right. Sometimes we can be like, oh, I feel so in alignment. Look at me receiving and look at me just loving unconditionally. And other times we could be in the judgment and then this isn't fair and the victimization and it's not working out for me and not being able to receive. Right. Because it's still innately who we are, but we spend most of our time in the facade and the layers.
Yeah, we begin to identify with the pain. I am a victim of whatever, domestic abuse. I am a victim of whatever. We begin to identify with that more than our divinity.
Mm, that's good. I want to be like, what did it feel like to be that loving and compassionate without any, I mean, because I feel like that there is a level of access that you gain when that humanness is just kind of stripped away. But I mean, is it something you can explain?
Ah, I guess the best way to explain it, Megan, would be expansion, right? I just imagined coming home to my husband and grabbing his face and kissing it, right? It's just like, oh, I can just see, feel how much he loves me, because that's another thing, right?
Wow. How is this like clicking? I feel like I could cry. I just
Me
sound
too,
like,
I'm about to cry.
yeah,
Yeah, because when we release that, then we can receive as well.
yeah, yeah. So it isn't just how do I feel about these people? It's how do you allow people to feel about you?
Yes.
Right. And can you receive their actual true intention
Mm,
of their love and their compassion, which can't make this shit up, which brings us into really talking about receiving and the ahas you had about receiving and how that is really the main ingredient in being able to manifest. Is it isn't actual manifestation, it's receiving
yeah,
that which you've manifested.
exactly. I know we segued so perfectly into that. I didn't even mean to. So perfect. I Well, receiving, in order to manifest, we all want to be powerful manifestors, right? We want to be able to energetically match to that which we want, and we want it to appear in our life really, really fast. We want instantaneous manifestations. The problem is that we don't know how to receive that manifestation. There's an underlying belief that I'm not ready. I'm not ready. And there's the belief that I'm not ready. I'm not what's the word, Megan? I'm not worthy. I'm
Oh.
not worthy of it. Yeah. And that was when Mother Mary came to me. She did a womb healing on me, a womb activation, and I became very aware of how I had coded creation within me. And it has been coded for women for millennia, right? Because we are natural creators. We bring life on earth. We take spirit to form. And we do that through our bodies. And I know we're taught that labor is painful, labor is hard, being pregnant is painful, being pregnant is hard. So we're getting all this, it's overwhelming, it's exhausting. So that we're getting programmed that that is what creation is,
Mm.
right? And so we become, when it comes to manifestation, we become overwhelmed. How do I do it right? Am I getting it right? But it's coded with all this pain and hard work. When manifestation, when creation is bringing our light that is within us, and the words that came to me were womb magic, that our womb is created, that is our portal of creation. And so Mother Mary talked me through the recoding of how we create and our ability to receive that creation by recoding.
Mm, mm. That is so good because I'm actually in cahoots. I don't know if that's why that word came to me. But working with a couple of women in the past, like literally week, maybe 2 weeks, where what they have asked for is delivered to them on a platter and they don't receive it. So it's not that their manifestation creator, maker, doer isn't working. It's that they literally don't receive what they've called in. And I feel like this is a huge piece of creating and manifesting that is never ever talked about, because you can resonate with it, bring it into your sphere right in front of you, right next to you, and not receive it.
Yeah.
All by your own doing. And so that's why on Wednesday we're doing a surprise complimentary activation. It's all about receiving, all about the womb magic, because so many of you already have manifested. You already have what you want right here. You're just not taking it, right? You're just not taking it. You're just not receiving
Letting it in.
right? You're not letting it in. And so, I mean, not only is it that, but also what you mentioned before, it was like that, oh, I could feel, not finally, but you could feel the love that Todd had for you, right? So it's been there all along, right? It wasn't that he loved you differently before you left, and all of a sudden now the love is different, right? It's there and you're receiving it. So we are inviting you to come with us on Wednesday this week. It's a pop-up activation where Michelle is going to deliver. I'm just talking away. Do you want to say something, or do you want me to keep talking?
You're good. Go ahead.
Michelle is going to be delivering the exact messages from Mother Mary, as well as the healing and the activation that took place for her during her journey. It's completely complimentary. We aren't doing like a page where you have to go and put your name and your email address or anything like that. This is a pop-up thing that came to her inspirationally during the journey. So we will put the Zoom link in here. We're sending it to everybody that's on the email list for Practical Magic. If you're on the email list, you will get the Zoom into your email as well. And we'll post it in the Facebook group. So we sure hope you'll be there. I know I'm going to be there. I'm like, look at all this shit I'm about to receive. Okay. And everybody that is there gets to receive. It's our innate right.
It is our innate right. Yes, we are queens, and we are here to live a life of opulence, surplus, and joy. I mean, you talk about wealth being well-being, and it absolutely is. And it's the codes are now codes that haven't been available in the past are now available. And so that's what I will be delivering on Wednesday, 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is noon Pacific Time, and 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Right?
That's correct. That's correct.
I know when I wrote the emails, I was still very fuzzy, and so it does say like 11 a.m. Eastern Time.
Who was it? Jane was like, is that correct? I was like, oh, I'm not gonna correct. Where's Tori? Tori was off on Friday.
I know. I was like, ooh, I went backwards on that. So 3 o'clock Eastern Time, 1 o'clock Mountain Time, and noon Pacific Time.
Yeah.
Still a little slow. Still a little slow. Still recalibrating.
Yeah, still recalibrating. Well, I mean, 20 years and 7 days is a doozy.
It is a doozy. That's for sure. That's for sure. So we look forward to seeing you on Zoom.
Yeah, and have another Magic Monday. Open up. What can you receive between now and Wednesday when we see you on this live? Yeah, come into Zoom. I'm thinking we'll share it on Facebook, but obviously you get the intimacy of being in the room with us if you choose to do the Zoom. So, all right. If you're not on the list and you want to make sure that you are so that you get this, just say, hey, please add me to the list, and Tori will get your email.
Yeah, perfect. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
See you Wednesday.